4 o'clock this afternoon. I did something stupid. I brewed a pot of drip coffee, grabbed 2 mugs, set one down on the little round table in front of the old rocking chair by the window, stood there a second. Then I looked at it and thought, who the hell is that for? Oh, right. She's been gone a year, and I'm still pouring her coffee. That feeling, how do I even describe it? It's like all the air in the room just got sucked out at once. Not sadness, silence, and then it got quiet. I mean, really quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your ears ring. Have any of you ever experienced this? You make it to this age, hair all white, face full of spots, and on some perfectly ordinary, almost boring afternoon, your hands just do what they've always done. 40 years of the same routine. Your body doesn't know she's gone. But the person who played opposite you in that scene, she turned into a breeze a long time ago. Honestly, I didn't see it coming. And when it hit hard. Damn near knocked the wind out of me. I sat back down on the couch, staring at that steaming black coffee, my mind totally blank. Here's the thing. The scariest part isn't those first few months after she's gone. Back then the sky was falling and you had a mountain of crap to deal with, right? Neighbors stuffing your fridge with casseroles, arguing with the funeral home, running the insurance paperwork. You're running on autopilot. You don't have time to fall apart, so you just don't. The real knockout punch is a day exactly like today. A year goes by. On the surface, life looks calm again. I mow the lawn on schedule, drive to Costco every weekend, even got used to watching the weather forecast alone. You think you've made it through. You think you've cleared the level. Then out of nowhere, bang, something you didn't even know was still in there comes up and punches you right in the chest. I stared at that rocking chair. We picked it up at the Henderson's yard sale. They were moving to Florida. I think the husband had a knee thing. Anyway, $5. Margaret thought it was ugly. She was right. But she sat in it every single day for 30 years. Used to be beautiful brown wood. Now it's all worn and faded. The armrests polished shiny from decades of sweat. For all those years, whenever I heard that final gurgling sound from the coffee maker, I'd yell down the hallway, "Honey, coffee's ready." And she'd close whatever impossibly thick novel she was reading, shuffle out in her slippers, and sit right there. Complain about the neighborhood recycling getting worse, or wonder out loud whether the kids would fly the grandchildren back from California for Thanksgiving. But today, no sound of pages turning, no slippers on the carpet, nothing. I watched the rocking chair cast its long shadow in the last of the sunset, and this terrifying, unreal feeling crept over me. I started to wonder, did any of this actually happen? Or was it all just a 40-year dream? The arguments over who should trim the hedges, the belly laughs, drinking beer on the porch, watching summer sunsets. If I'm the only one in this house who remembers them, do they still count as real? I felt like I was trespassing in my own living room, like the house didn't recognize me anymore. Or maybe I didn't recognize it Eventually, it got completely dark. I didn't bother getting up to turn on the light, just sat there in the pitch black for a long time until both cups of coffee went stone cold, a film of oil settling on top. I knew I needed to talk to someone, so I called old Mac. We used to drive trains together out of Union Station. He lost his wife a few years back, too. When he picked up, I was a mess, rambling, making no sense. Mac didn't say a word for a long time. I could just hear him puffing away on his cigar. Finally, he let out a sigh and said, "Listen, buddy, you know what your problem is. You're only remembering the good coffee. You're forgetting she burned the pot every damn Tuesday because she'd get lost in those books. You're forgetting you almost killed each other over that basement pipe in 2009. Stop making her into a saint. She'd hate that." Well, that shut me up pretty quick. Sometimes you need an old friend to tell you you're being an idiot. I hung up, walked to the porch, and pushed open the screen door. Night air hit my face. Felt cool, actually. Nice. I looked at the taillights on Route 2, stretching out like a red thread in the distance. Watched the neighbor's automatic bug zapper flicker on across their lawn. And something in me just loosened. Mac was right. I fell apart today because I was trying to grab hold of a ghost. That doesn't exist anymore. I'd turned the past into a bunker to hide from present loneliness. But I can't spend the rest of my life staring at an empty rocking chair. That's pathetic. If all my remaining years amount to is confirming her absence over and over, then I'm turning this house full of memories into a living tomb. Everything we lived through, good and bad, it hasn't disappeared. It became part of my body. It became the wrinkles on my face. It became the reason I can sit here right now and face the dark with some measure of calm. The one who left already gave her best 40 years to this place. She finished her journey, so, and me, even if I'm alone now, my journey isn't over yet. So I walked back to the kitchen and poured that cold coffee straight down the drain. I said to myself, tomorrow at 4, I'll still brew coffee, but starting tomorrow, I'm only grabbing 1 mug. That's not betrayal. That's not forgetting her. That's the greatest respect I can pay to the life we lived together. I don't know if that's wisdom or just common sense, but I figure you can look back, sure. Just don't sit there staring. I've still got some road left. Might as well keep driving. All right, I told you this embarrassing story of me crying alone in my living room because I want to ask you, have you ever been ambushed by an old habit during your days living alone? In that moment, how did you pull yourself out of that pit? Drop your story in the comments. I know there are a lot of people here in the same boat as me. Think of this like one of those diners off the highway, the kind that's open at 2 a.m. You come in, get some coffee, talk to whoever's sitting at the counter. That's all this is. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you have a peaceful, warm night. Take care of yourselves. God bless.